Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Shree Iyer. Joining me today is a brand new guest, Dr. Shree Kumar Menon. And before I tell you who he is, let's first welcome the guest, Dr. Shree Kumar Menon. Namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel.
Namaskar. Thank you very much for this great opportunity to interact with you and your esteemed audience.
Thank you so much, sir. And viewers, you may not know of him or you may know of him because he is a prolific writer. He contributes frequently to many newspapers and articles. He is a former Director General of Customs, Indirect Taxes and Narcotics. And his interest is in trying to find out where India or how India is tackling this menace of drugs. Initially, it was opium. Now you're coming to more exotic territory, which is synthetic stuff. So we're going to be talking with him about this menace, how it needs to be controlled, what are the ingress and egress points. We have had some information about this, but today we get it to hear from the man who has been heading up this thing for a long time. Dr. Shree Kumar Menon, a little bit perspective about what you have been doing when you were, of course, you are currently retired, but when you used to head up as a Director General of Narcotics, sir.
Basically, we were involved in training customs officials, IRS officials, as well as we were training officers from Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Sri Lanka, as well as Afghanistan. And we used to have exchanges with the Russian Customs Academy, the US Customs Academy, even the Chinese Customs Academy. And one of the disciplines was on narcotics, and with which we used to have intimate relationship with the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crimes, as well as various DEA and other enforcement agencies. Of course, in India, we used to have contacts with all the agencies here, police, enforcement directorate, everybody.
Sir, when it used to be case of opium smuggling or anything, plant-based, you had sniffer dogs to try and find out how, they could sniff the drugs. Now you have pseudoephedrine, which is a basic ingredient that goes into making meth, crystal meth. Now, what kind of sniffing equipment do you need? Can the dog still sniff the stuff, or is it getting harder and harder to detect these things?
See, pseudoephedrine is basically used in pharmaceuticals, especially for manufacture of cough syrup. And dogs are not used to, sniffing pseudoephedrine. So we have to rely more on information from various agencies as well as trusted informers, and we have to rely on various drug testing equipments to find out what it is.
And viewers, you may have read Dr. Shree Kumar Menon's article that appeared today in P Gurus. It starts out with the same title, Drugs Munnetra Kazhagam. So the reason it was picked that way, and I'm assuming, and I'm picking Dr. Shree Kumar's brains here, is that this is the first instance where a drug person connected with, peddling this stuff, thousands of crores already done, is formally an office bearer of a political party called the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. Just because he has been expelled after he has been caught with his hand in the cookie jar doesn't absolve him of all the crimes. The amount of pseudoephedrine that has been sent to places like New Zealand and Australia blows the mind. Dr. Shree Kumar Menon, the challenge here is, first of all, DMK is trying to walk back that they are even connected with this, whereas people in Tamil Nadu say that drugs are easily available now. You go to any pawn shop, it is available there, especially near colleges. It is very freely available. So this is essentially an attempt to wipe out a generation, sir.
Mr. Iyer, if you examine the statistics, March 2024 alone, the methamphetamine that was exported from Tamil Nadu and what has been caught is running into several thousands of crores. It is in this context that this particular seizure of 2,000 crores worth of drugs which this Jafar Sadiq has been indulging in has been caught. excellent what you call detection and seizure. We must fully compliment the NCB as well as the Delhi police. Why I tell you it's a classic case? Normally we read in novels, fiction and non-fiction, about the linkage between drug traffickers, drug kingpins, money launderers with politicians, entertainment industry, as well as with the police forces and other enforcement agencies. But if you were to ask me, do you have a concrete example of such a thing in India? It happens in South America. You will be very well aware of.
Oh yes, oh
But
yes.
but in India, do you have such a case? No, we have that only in films. But this was a classic case where this Sadiq Jafar has been caught. He enjoys the position of a organizing secretary in the NRI wing of the Southwest Chennai branch of the DMK. He is a film producer, having bankrolled 5 films. He is intimately connected to the first family of the DMK. If you see the internet, it is amazing that the entire family is there, either collectively or individually with him, posing for photographs, every one of them. He has bankrolled Udayanidhi's Talent's wife's directorial venture, a full-fledged film she has directed, and the full amount has been funded by him. So the linkage between the film world and the politician and the drug cartel. And then you see, amazed. I was also shocked. Top police officials, in fact, some of them I know personally. I mean, they are posing with him. So what more do you need to have to show that linkage? And you see, one of the candidates in the election is Kamala Hassan, aspiring politician. He is aspiring for the second time. And he is sharing the dais with him, with this Jafar Sadiq. They are in very close contact. See, what is the message that you are sending out to the youth of the country? See, we are not bothered about their linkages or whatever transactions they are indulging in. Okay, their case has been detected, that law will decide what is the course of it. But what is the message that you are sending to the youth of the country? It says that if you indulge in these kind of activities, your access to the topmost hierarchy is ensured. Your money is most welcome. Nobody is asking you the color of your money, whether you got it by drug trafficking or you got it by other illicit means. And more important, that these functionaries can be closely associated with the police, giving you a guarantee that nothing would happen to you, because we are all there with you. The first family, the police, the entire entertainment industry. I mean, what more would a youngster like to have, you tell me? I mean, they would really think, why not I also do this? Why should I struggle for a job? Why should I be an unemployed youth wandering in the streets, sending my CV to all and sundry? If I also take up the job of drug peddling, maybe I can also aspire to become a politician. And Mr. Iyer, actually I'm very sad to tell, there has been a complete blackout in this case, if you'll observe.
Yes.
Now nobody talks, no politician talks, no media talks, no TV channel talks, no no enforcement officials talking. There's been a complete blackout. Contrast this, few months back, what happened in Shah Rukh Khan's son's case, Aryan. The TV was badgering us for more than 21 days non-stop till that boy got a bail. Non-stop. This was the only thing that was aired, as though this was the greatest thing happening in the whole world. That too for a few micrograms, which he is alleged to have possessed and which was never recovered from him. Contrast this man is running a 2,000 crore transnational pseudoephedrine racket, and he's got linkages to Malaysia, Australia, and New Zealand. Nobody is interested. Nobody talks anything about him. And I'm even more saddened because the BJP got this on a platter during the election time. Sir, is there any whimper? You tell me.
Well,
I am really
sir,
amazed. I am really amazed. See, Annamalai, young police officer who had the guts to resign his IPS, cushy life he sacrificed, he entered politics. And I mean, people have great expectations about him. And he is totally silent. Not a word from him. In fact, this should have been the election issue in Tamil Nadu. Nothing else. You should have just told this and said, our youth, they are in danger. Like you correctly pointed out, it is not only in Tamil Nadu, you go anywhere. You go to any school, any college, or any education institution. The first thing that the principal or the staff will tell you is that drugs are freely available. The other day, you won't believe, I went to talk to a business group in Kerala. I don't want to mention the name of the city. It was a small group, and it was on drugs. And after I concluded my lecture, one of the organizers, he told me, "Sir, you come for any business meeting in this city. In the refreshment area, there is an exclusive corner reserved for drugs. You can get any type of drugs you want from there." And he was saying, let me tell you that almost all of us are onto drugs. He says, we feel very happy. So why should I not take it? Now, this is the extent of what we call the acceptance of drugs in our society. So, but when we think about the children or the youth of this country, we are really afraid what would happen to them. In fact, you're in US, in America, not that it made any great difference. Drugs are declared as public enemy number one. In India, you don't have that. I'm not telling that just by declaring they got rid of their problem, but students, parents, law enforcement agencies, medical professionals, everybody have been put on notice that this is the greatest threat and danger to our country and to the youth of our country. So this is what we should have done. In fact, in many of my writings, I have been fervently appealing to the government, please declare this as enemy number one. What is that? There's nothing. But you will be surprised as not. So just see, not a single political party has anti-drugs control as their election, as one of their points in their election manifesto. Nothing. No. Nobody is bothered about drugs. Nobody talks about drugs. It's as though such a thing does not exist in India. And you see, not a single political party has nominated any anti-drugs crusader to contest the election. We say that this is a gravest issue confronting our country. But we are reluctant to do anything to control it or to even give a message to our youth that we are serious about this. So this is the critical situation now we are facing.
So I have some updates, and this is not going to be pleasant to the ears of all BJP supporters. Viewers, I've been following a lot of videos recently because I wanted to find out, look, everybody says BJP is strong in the south of India or southern part of Tamil Nadu. South of Madurai, they are going to be very strong. Now, I have been following some, TV reporters who are very reputed journalists. They are going from village to village in some of these so-called strong constituencies of BJP. I hate to say this, that, in places like Tenkasi, they thought that they would have a chance. I'm not even sure they'll get a deposit, Dr. Shree Kumar. I'm just listening to the people. They seem to know Annamalai, but they are still familiar with these two signs. The dangers of the drugs, the things that DMK has done has not permeated to them yet. That's one problem. Second problem is that Already now, people are election commission under them. Lots of raids are happening to try and curb the amount of money that is going to go before the day of election. Now, what they are finding out this time is it's not cash that they are catching. They are catching gold bars, gold bullion, worth thousands of crores. Now, what would the DMK party or the ADMK party want to do with gold bullion? Why are they transporting gold bullion? Are they trying to do something different than give cash? Like, for example, an earring or a ring or something like that? We don't know. Clearly, they have changed strategy. Third thing so this is the other new challenge that the BJP government has. They may be thinking that they can catch people at, distributing the money. And if the money is not getting distributed, then the people will vote. I have my own doubts. In fact, there is a very reputed pro-BJP, very rare in Tamil Nadu, newspaper that has given only 2 seats to the NDA, not to BJP. One is Soumya Anbumani Ramdas, Soumya Ramdas in Dharmapuri, and the second one is A.C. Shanmugam in Velur. In other words, short seats. They are not very sure. And why they are saying they are not very sure is because they are saying drugs has given so much money to the parties that are encouraging them that they can freely, throw money like water to win this election, just to make sure that Annamalai doesn't win in Coimbatore and that the BJP does not put Tamil Nadu. This is the situation you are staring at today, viewers. I am saying this because I've seen a lot of stuff. I wanted to really understand how the DMK is able to so effectively stop the news of the drugs, its nexus with drugs, people, its nexus with, anti-national elements, and still the BJP is not taking advantage of this. They really need to go on the front foot. This is not enough. I'm telling you guys, this is not enough. Also, sir, I've got another information from Sydney. In Sydney, what happened was, see, the whole thing got caught there first. It was Australia that caught at Sydney. They got some information from US that pseudoephedrine could be coming in as part of desiccated coconut. The coconut, powder, you chop coconut, and that's what we garnish, right, on curries and South Indian dishes, we do that. So this coconut, even in North Indian dishes too. So this coconut, desiccated coconut, that is where the pseudoephedrine was being mixed and sent. Now, what happened was the Australian authorities were waiting to catch the person who comes to clear the consignment. They got the consignment first. They were waiting to see who will come and clear the consignment. Lo and behold, 2 individuals, both are on refugee visa. They come and they clear the consignment, or they try to clear the consignment. They get caught. These 2 cannot speak any other language other than Tamil. So the court system in Australia assigns one lawyer who can speak Tamil and who has handled people who have this kind of a background where they are trying to get something settled and they can only speak Tamil. And they said, can you please take up this person's case and represent him? So he picked up one of those 2 individuals' cases, and he is going through the motions of, whatever, talking to him and so on. And this is just happening because he has been asked by the court system to take care of it. He is doing the justice system a favor. He didn't go out and seek this particular person. The second person? The second person has been beaten black and blue, and he is in serious condition because they are trying to wipe their traces already. And even in India, this has now died down. Mr. Amit Shah, what are you doing? This is a big gold mine. And more importantly, you will have the world behind you. Australia is grappling with it. New Zealand is grappling with it. Malaysia is grappling with it. America is grappling with it. And here you have the case in your hands, and use this for your political reasons. Sir, I was listening to some so-called strong BJP constituencies, conversations between common man and this reporter. It is distressing. Short of saying BJP who, they barely know what BJP is. So they are banking on somehow that one Padayatra has done the trick. I'm afraid there is a lot more work to be done. This is where the booth level thing that I've been stressing, I don't know if BJP has got its act together. I have some fear. So long and short of it, Dr. Shree Kumar, is in Australia, this case will find its way through and it will meander. This 25-year-old boy who can only speak in Tamil, and he was thinking that this is extra money for him because he's on a refugee visa. He doesn't have any means of employment. And how he ended up there as a refugee, there could be a mule network, right? You need to have a mule network to go and take things from the other side too. So it's getting really complex. And I'm hearing that this Jafar Sadiq fellow had connections even with South America. He was called some other name. There's an alias. I saw it in one of his chart sheets.
Bezos or something.
Bezos, right. Exactly. Like the founder of Amazon, Bezos. Right. Exactly. So, what is happening is there's one side that you need to tackle this. India has effectively tried to wage war on the drugs. That's what you're seeing playing out in Manipur also. They've essentially destroyed all the plantations that the refugees had tried to put to grow opium. They've destroyed that. But this chemical pseudoephedrine, this is finding its way from China. And pseudoephedrine goes into fentanyl. If people get hooked on fentanyl, in 18 months, they're history. They're done. I've said this thing again and again, viewers. YouTube ex-CEO, Susan Wojcicki's son, 18-year-old boy, just a month ago, died of fentanyl consumption. He was a student at UC Berkeley. Everything right. I mean, this person is a billionaire. When the children are trying to experiment, you can't prevent this. So if he died in college, that means he had been hooked onto it in high school itself. So this is a big problem for us in the United States too, Dr. Shree Kumar. My question to you, sir, is you have a situation now where you don't even have a way to detect whether this is being passed off as part of something else. So these people have been very successful in camouflaging the real thing. Where do things go from here? I mean, what does India have to do to intercept the next big consignment, to intercept the next Jafar Sadiq?
Good question. But let me tell you, our enforcement agencies, whether there are so many agencies who are handling this now. NCB, of course, is in the forefront. DRI is there. Then all the state excise and state police forces are there. Everybody has got their own anti-narcotic cell, and of course, the DRI is there. Now, everybody is on the alert. We have been making fantastic seizures. But I always tell the people, even the Americans say that in their own country, the number of seizures made just represents the tip of the iceberg. Much of it is going because of the new system of what I call checking and evaluation and all those things. Most of the officials working, whether in the customs or any other department, they don't have much of freedom. Everything is determined by the computer, and everything is, you have to take permission and sanctions to check anything. For example, you would recall the Munnetra port incident.
Yeah.
Now, the customs had to do a lot of struggle to get permission to check that consignment itself, because see, there are thousands of containers. So if one agency comes and wants to open a particular container, there would be a huge blockage. It would be like your traffic pileup on the highways in US. So,
yes.
So it would be an uproar. So what happens is, unless the information is very concrete, only then you get permission to open it. And they stumbled upon a gold mine. Now, like this way, there are so many consignments coming to so many ports of India. So many consignments coming in to see from the east and the west, through the land borders in Manipur. Kashmir and Punjab are facing everyday drone droppings. But our agencies are, I would say, with their resources and the men available at their command, they are doing an excellent job. But it is just not sufficient because, like you correctly pointed out, the country is awash with drugs. You name it, you want heroin, you want cocaine, you want methamphetamine, you want ecstasy, anything is available. And at very cheap rates. Of course, nobody can guarantee you the purity, because what you buy from a peddler, It need not be 100% pure. But what I'm more worried is that there is a deeper angle to this, and you would have guessed it by now, narco terrorism. See, India is facing aggravated terrorism, and there are so many hidden strategies at work in practically every state. Yesterday, I was listening to your telecast.
Gautaman?
Yeah, Gautaman. He had correctly pointed out all the various camps operating. Where is the money coming from? See, once upon a time, you would recall that all these Western intelligence agencies were pumping in funds for operating these kind of disruptive activities. Now it is no longer available for the simple reason that most of them have become bankrupt. And second is that people have become aware of these nefarious activities. And third, many of the groups, terror groups operating in different parts of the world, they would like to be independent. They don't want to be under the control of any agency. That is, they want to decide their own agenda. And this is like a self-financing venture. See, you get drugs, you sell it at a big premium. That money is there. That money is utilized for training, for setting up camps, for making your operatives to go around here and there. And basically, see, so many things are happening. I mean, so many kinds of, jihads are in operation. And you require funds for all this. And there are so many leaders operating. How do we, what is see, government also does not have a strategy. You are not working with a strategy. Simply going and catching something. Sir, it will be very astonishing for you to know that 95% of the cases that have been detected have been thrown out by the courts because they say that there is some insufficient evidence. And that too all because of one section, Section 50 of the NDPS Act. You can just check the case laws on NDPS and you will find, and in fact, this submission was made before the Supreme Court that you should not be reading this section with the extreme rigidity. Please be flexible because these people are all drug dealers and they don't deserve that kind of a sympathy. But Supreme Court refused. They said no. Now the only avenue available is for the government to make it more tighter. Otherwise, nothing can be done. 95% of the cases, that is the failure rate. What do you do? So even this Jafar Sadiq, I will not be surprised if he walks out free. And another point, sir, which I have been stressing in many of my articles. All the jails are under the control of the state government. The the central government agencies, whether it is NCB, DRI, Customs, Enforcement Directorate, or even your serious frauds offices and all those things. You catch a person, what happens to him? He goes to the jail which is controlled and administered by the state government. Now you just think of a hypothetical situation where this Jafar Sadiq, fortunately, I think he has been taken to Delhi. But otherwise, in the normal circumstances, when the case is finalized, it has to be done in Tamil Nadu because that was the place where the manufacture was done. So it has to be taken to Tamil Nadu. Where will this fellow go? He will go to the Tamil Nadu jail. And with the kind of clout that he enjoys in the government, the police, do you think anything would happen to him? I'll give you examples of what happened in Kerala. You see that gold smuggling case. Same, where the Kerala CM's office was involved. His family members were involved. Diplomats were involved. So many high-ranking bureaucrats were involved. What happened? All the players who got caught, one girl and two boys or something, they were put in the jail. Immediately, they come out with a complaint against the enforcement agencies, particularly the customs, saying that third-degree treatment was employed, statements were extracted, they were forced to implicate bureaucrats and politicians. What does the state government do? Immediately books a case with the police, and the police institutes action against another government agency, another sister enforcement agency, threatens the officers that you will be put behind bars. These officers have to go to court spending money from their own pocket. Just imagine, which officer would like to stick out his neck if the government is not interested? Why? For this purpose, I have been writing in my articles repeatedly, central government should have central jails of their own. Don't depend on any state government. For offences committed under various central government acts, whether it is customs, whether it is income tax, whether it is enforcement directorate, whether it is FEMA, terrorism, whatever it is, your people catch them and put them in central jails. Don't have this system of depending on the state government. So this is a very, very concrete example of what has happened in Kerala. The same thing is happening in Tamil Nadu. You will recall some of the enforcement directorate officials in Madurai were
yes.
police came.
Yeah.
In Bengal it is happening, because that Kerala model has been now copied by other state governments. So a stage will come when all these enforcement agencies will start clashing with each other. And what more can a drug peddler or a drug trafficker ask for? Agencies are fighting. Nobody is bothered. Neither the state government nor the central government. Judiciary is not bothered. And our young youth, they are being completely destroyed. In Kerala now, if you see, girls studying in the 7th standard, they have been destroyed by, they are forced to take drugs, forced to sell their bodies for purchasing drugs, forced to bring in more students into their net. And we are unable to control this because, our courts are insisting on 100% proof. In fact, I met a district and sessions judge, and when we were talking, he was telling me, see, look, as lawyers and judges, we have been implementing the CRPC, and we know only the CRPC. We are not aware of the nuances of your NDPS Act. So what happens is, he says, when a case comes before us, we are viewing that case from the CRPC angle. Most of the lawyers do not know, they are not trained in NDPS. Judges also are not that very familiar. So what is the solution? Unless you have at least one court in each state, if not in each state, at least in each zone, say South Zone, for all one particular specialized court, where the judges, the prosecutors know what is the NDPS Act, what are the provisions of the NDPS Act. So even our enforcement agencies, they don't know. Can you believe it? In fact, 90% of the cases are lost because you are not able to draw a proper Mahasarnama. That is the state of affairs. It is true because, see, there is a paucity of staff, there is a paucity of training programs. See, all these things are there. But ultimately, what is happening to our country? Drug trafficking, narco-terrorism, connected with that, all these foreign exchange rackets. And you see all these people like, Jafar Sadiq, there are so many other people also everywhere operating. All big time players having, incredible source of money. Now you see, when this Jafar Sadiq itself came on the scene, nobody has asked him, where is the source of your money for splurging on film actors and actresses, producing films? See, he was literally, if you see the accounts, he was literally splurging money. He was never stingy with money. Money was being splurged. And nobody asked, no questions asked. Even the income tax department did not make any survey from where did this unknown producer come into the scene. See, that is the problem. Everybody interferes late. when things reach a stage when nothing can be done. And that too, see, tragically in this sort of a case, we have to get information from other countries about what is happening in our country. I'm told even the DEA gave information on this.
Yeah.
So it doesn't speak very well of our what you call anti-drug measures, I would say.
Very true, sir. And so there is a lot of work that needs to be done. Training
Correct.
the judiciary to be able to understand the nuances of this. The police needs to be aware of this. Also, educating the youth to not fall for it. First of all, cut off the supply as quickly as possible. Cut off the supply. That is the first thing that needs to happen. And with an iron hand, and fast track the case and send the guy to jail. And I think this first family, sir, there is another story that I'm hearing, which I don't know if it's true or not. Stalin's elder brother, Aragiri, one of his sons got on the drugs, and he has been undergoing treatment, I heard, in Apollo in Chennai for several months now. It's not as if the first family hasn't seen this thing very close. I mean, if you don't recognize the danger of what you have started, Mr. Stalin, I don't know how far the money is going to get you. It's not going to make you healthy. I'm sorry to tell you what is obvious. It is not going to make you healthy. It's not going to make you live forever. And not only that, you are leaving a very bad legacy in the state. It is you who are responsible for this. And look at the way they go about, administering the state. Horrible is not even beginning to say it. But the problem, Dr. Shree Kumar, is BJP has made a small scratch in Tamil Nadu. They've got a long ways to go. I was somehow thinking that the Padayatra is going to make everybody draw. It is just a very small percentage, not enough to move the needle. Maybe 4 years down the road, 6 years down the road, as things get even worse. But should that be the way? Should your children be, on drugs, and then you realize that, oh, the reason for all this is this government? Should it not be stopped today? So my question, sir, now is, I'm sorry to give long questions here. My quick question here is, if the BJP government cracks the whip, what would it have to do?
Sir, in my humble opinion, what the BJP should do is, first of all, they should try to bring the judiciary onto the same page as we are all in.
Yes.
Unfortunately, judiciary is on a different track altogether. See, the judiciary has still not appreciated the danger to our youth. It's not danger, they're already in a danger situation with a drug addiction at a very, very high rate, and we don't have sufficient rehabilitation centers. The affected people don't have that much of money and time at their disposal to go and take care of them. And worse, the terror angle, which is deeply embedded in narcotics. Sir, all these things that you're seeing, Manipur, Ukraine, Gaza, everything has a drug angle to it.
Yes.
Everything, every war has a drug angle to it. Now, do you want our state to be like that? So judiciary needs to be brought onto the same page as we are all in. And I think they have got too much of discretion. People going at midnight, approaching them, getting bail, walking out, and simply telling the statements can be retracted. Sufficient proof is not there. What will you do? This is not a game where people keep a record of all their activities. These are clandestine activities. These are illicit activities done illicitly throughout the world, except for perhaps some few places where cannabis consumption has been legalized, like for example in USA. There are many states where consumption of cannabis has been, Amsterdam and other places. But even then, though it is legalized, trafficking in drugs is not legalized. That is still an illegal offense everywhere. So BJP has a lot to do. Uh, in fact, I would say that there should be a separate movement for students. The BJP has done your Nasha Mukt Yojana and all are there, but it's not going with the same kind of vigor and zeal that it should go. Maybe I don't know whether it's a leadership problem or anything, but more important than that, BJP, you pointed out Tamil Nadu, uh, well, they are not ahead in the race. Maybe because of the money that is available with the other parties for throwing. But this particular case, if they make this drugs issue a very major issue, which they still have time to do, I think it should gel with the electorate. If not to, at least they may be able to snatch some more, at least from the urban areas, maybe not from the rural areas. Maybe rural people don't appreciate. But now to say that rural and urban is not correct, because even rural people are all well educated.
Yeah.
We are still singing same songs, that people are uneducated and all those things. No, they're all highly educated. Even see Kerala, of course, we have been in the lead for a very long time. But if you come to Kerala now, there is no such thing as an illiterate person. Everybody is educated. There is no community. Even for example, traditionally we used to say that Muslims are backward. Sir, now their community is in the forefront. Whole families are full of doctors, engineers, and scientists. So it is wrong. We are simply self-ridiculing us by telling that we are backward, we are uneducated, we are illiterate. In each state it varies. Maybe Tamil Nadu, they are a little behind. But as far as the youth is concerned, they are fully aware of the problems. In fact, once I went to Tamil Nadu recently, about a year back, I was invited for a lecture. At that time, it was an engineering college, and I told them something about, the principal told me, kindly talk to them about civil services also. So I told those students about civil services. But I said, look, I want you to think about one more profession which is above the civil services. Why don't you try that? So they asked me what it was. I said, politics. The immediate reply of the youngsters was that, sir, we don't have money to enter into politics. So at that time, though it looks inappropriate now, at that time Kejriwal had entered. So I said, look at his example. He didn't have any money. Yeah, he didn't have the kind of money that you are thinking of or speaking of. He came with nothing. He went around to the people and appealed to them that, look, I'm an honest man. I don't have money, but I can lead you. But now it's a different story. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So that's a different story. But I think even now, BJP has sufficient time at its disposal to take up this issue. So the internet is full of images of this family and many of the candidates who are contesting. All that you have to do is appeal to the conscience. Do you want Tamil Nadu to become Afghanistan? Everybody on drugs. Drugs is the only profession. Do you want that to happen? I think, Mr. Annamalai is very, very sincere. There's no doubt about it. And he has been campaigning. I feel that he has been reined in. That is my feeling. If he is given a little more freedom, I would think that he would make this election issue as a major anti-drugs war.
Absolutely, sir. This is the easiest way to do this, because once you say your children's future is at risk, people will sit up and take notice, because
Yes.
what do you live for? Once you have
Correct.
children, you're always thinking about their well-being, their health, their future, and you tell them that this is how your children's future is being ruined by DMK. Come on now. I mean, this is something that it's as a black and white thing. You are getting something on a platter. And I still don't see. I mean, he has made some statement saying that if I become elected as an MP in Coimbatore, I'll bring an NCRB, National Narcotics Control Board, NCB office in Coimbatore. But Coimbatore has the most number of educational institutions. You see that road between Coimbatore and Palakkad. Have you traveled that road, sir?
So many institutions.
150 school colleges. I lose count. And there are so many going there. Yeah. So Coimbatore has become like a hotbed of all this stuff. Why can't the BJP Karyakartas now start hitting pawn shops? And then you take care of a few people. They'll squeal. They'll tell you where the money is coming, where the drugs are coming from, who the supplier is. Shut it down for 3 weeks. Show them that, look, without being in power, we are able to do it. Just elect us. We can completely eradicate this. I have a feeling something like that needs to be done. Just going after this money thing is not going to also cut the needle, move the needle.
Actually, what they should do, if you ask me, a few visuals of youth in other countries who have taken drugs and how it has transformed them physically and mentally. I mean, totally degraded them. A few visuals, because it might be very embarrassing to go after people who are from the state who have suffered. Just show those visuals. They will understand. You can just see. You open the net and see. Many of the individuals who have taken drugs, young boys and girls, how they have transformed. Because the first thing it affects is your mouth. It affects your eyes. That is the first thing what the doctors see. When you go for a drug treatment, they check your oral cavity and your eyes. And that will give them an indication that whether the person is on drugs or not. The next is on your face. Complete physiological change. You will be, many years ahead. You would have gone in your in your age cycle, and this is what I think they should extensively show posters, do rallies, not for elections. Say that we want to protect your youth. Give us a chance to do that. I think a sincere man like Annamalai can make wonders if he does it. Maybe other politicians would not be trusted, but a statement from him should be would be taken very seriously, as well as with more trustworthiness.
Yes, indeed, and we're going to reach out. I mean, the P Guru's videos are also watched at the center, Dr. Shree Kumar. I'm told, because I've seen some action happen when there is constructive suggestion. We're always giving constructive suggestions. We present the problem. We're also trying to present the solutions, how to go about doing this.
Yeah.
And this is all we can tell you. I always keep saying, all our viewers also, P Gurus is like a thermometer. The thermometer will tell that the patient has a fever. We don't have the cure, unfortunately. But somebody has to find out that there is a patient, patient has a fever. That we are doing. That's all we can do. And Dr. Shree Kumar is, he's very bold in his writing. You should read some of his articles. In fact, one appeared yesterday. Another one is going to appear in a few days, sir. The other one also, for the gods to be, that also is going to be coming very shortly.
That was done in a lighter vein. And
yes.
We're not advocating the use of drugs or anything. But this particular thing, sir, what you told me, I just want to add the difficulty for anyone to approach the central government. And it's, there is a ministerial cadre, there is the member of parliament cadre. Now, member of parliament cadre, you can approach. My experience entering, I'm not blaming anyone. Only I went not for any personal favor, only for anti-drugs I went. It's not correct to name the person. I went and told him, sir, these are my proposals. Can you please take it up with so-and-so person? Do you know what was his reply? Sir, I am an MP. I have not met this gentleman in my life. I can't even dream to get an appointment with him. Now, that is the state of affairs, sir, what to do. So I think BJP should keep their communication lines open. See, it is just not enough during election time that they all become approachable and then they are going around and mingling with the people and then saying, I will do this, I will do that. No, they have done a lot. There's no doubt about it. Problem is, if you keep your channel of communication open, you get ideas. You can get people as well as the supporters who would implement those ideas. So that is the only thing that they have to do. And many of the suggestions, which people are giving are not expensive things. Very, very simple things that can be done. Now, that is the only thing. If BJP does that, I think they would have more rapport with the people. And I really wish that now this Tamil Nadu elections could be a game changer if they take up this anti-drugs as a challenge and go all out. I think they can easily do it. They have the time. They have the men, sincere people. There are a lot of sincere people. Because, okay, you can throw around money, but once you show the facts, see, you need not go and do big speeches, oratory and all those things. Simple PowerPoint presentation at all these places. Sir, I have seen in elections in Japan, nothing, there is no rhetoric, nothing. In some street corner, they are there and they are showing a PowerPoint presentation about, whatever is the problem. That is all. So once people are convinced that this is what is going to happen to my son and daughter, that's it. And though it is not correct on our part to say whatever is there written on the net, we don't know the another member of the family. I'm not naming him, but they're telling he's a regular at rave parties. You can guess who it is. He's a regular at rave parties. So, what is the kind of message going to the party cadre? The party cadre means it's all full of youth only. What is the message that is going to them? And I think Mr. Kamal Haasan has got a lot to answer. He's neck deep in a close relationship with this man. With this
sir, he's a clown right now, sir. He doesn't need. He had a good body of work as an actor. I don't know why he's messing up his future and really nasty stuff. That's all I can say. Stupid thing to do. Maybe he got caught in the money stuff and he's now forced to do all this. Yeah. I don't know what exactly his problem is. He was a good actor. He made good movies. That's all I can say. And good luck to him wherever he goes. But anyway, sir, we have been talking for a long time today, and I'm sorry to stretch it out this long. We've been talking for 52 minutes. Here is the Vizag Port Drugs Hall. CBI team likely to visit Brazil. So this is
it just happened.
Yes.
Other day.
March 27th.
25,000 kg drugs. Just imagine, sir. Dried yeast mixed with high-end drugs. So this is what is happening in all the containers which are coming from various ports. This is what is happening. What to do?
You can't shut off trade either. I mean,
correct. Yeah, you can't shut because that is not happening there also. See, many of these drugs are coming even from places like Dubai and all those things.
Yeah.
You see, Dubai Customs has made seizure. You see, Captagon drug will be millions of tablets.
And I think I wanted to also mention the 8th grade, 9th grade children. The reason they get caught is sometimes you even get lollipops which have a coating of these drugs on them. Yeah. And once you start using it, you get habituated to that. That's how they make you to come back for more and more and more and more. It's just like that. You
get addicted. What they do in all these pawn shops and all, they sell LSD stamps. So you buy a stamp, nobody would detect. Just keep it on your tongue, and it is and use this thing saliva. You just try to dilute it and enjoy the minute doses. But what happens is you need that continuously after some time, and then afterwards you need higher doses of drugs
to get the kick.
Ecstasy and all those kind of drugs. Ecstasy is the drug of choice in Kerala.
Life was simple, sir, when we were growing up.
Yeah.
We have one or two questions, I think. Just acknowledgements. Can we just do the acknowledgements, please? Bala, thank you so much for your donation. And I think there are many people observing various things. Everybody is concerned. And I think we have to start asking our children also, what did you do? Where did you go? Look at the company he keeps or she keeps. Make sure that there is, some trust between you and your child. Very, very important to build that trust. So life has just become more difficult. You may be making more money at work, but your children also are getting lesser supervision, and that can cause other problems. Thank you so much, Dr. Shree Kumar. We'll be back again in a few weeks to talk about this, because this is just the beginning, my friends. This is also something of concern worldwide. I know the Biden administration is also trying to crack down on it. By the way, you also missed out one other thing. Khalistan funding today is mostly drugs.
Yeah, drugs. Canada, the Canadian angle is there.
Yeah.
So I told you in the beginning, sir, all these terror movements are all self-financed.
Yes.
Nobody is depending on any other government. If you depend on any Western government, it's a folly. They all know it. It is all financed by drug operations, either there or here in India.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. So, viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Sir, it's an honor to have you on our platform, and we'll be having you over again as we share more views and thoughts about how to go about combating this menace. Thank you very much, sir. Namaskar.
I'm also privileged, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.